Hello everybody, my name is Petr Krutny and today I have for you a lesson of chess strategy and I will speak about the center. We will see that it's important to understand the basic plan in a typical center position, and I will speak about dynamic center, fixed, mobile, open and locked center, and I will tell you the basic or the famous plans, and then if you remember just these typical plans, you are able to find the best moves in your position, and it's no joke. I'm sure that I'm right and you could improve your chess. So let's start, watch this video and be better chess player. So first position is open center, and in the open center it's important to know this golden rule. Both players here are without any weaknesses, so you need to just imagine that you have plenty of your pieces there and you need to provoke your opponent to make a weakness. Then you should start to attack your opponent's weaknesses. Yes, of course, you need to stay active, you need to improve your pieces, you need to fight maybe for open center, but still your biggest plan is to provoke your opponent to make a weakness. How this plan is looking? For example, watch this game where black is on a move. And the first question, what do you think about this position? First answer is that yes, this center is open, we know it. So we have to provoke our opponent, say we have to provoke white to make a weakness. And maybe let's speak about this position just to understand. If you are going to watch rooks, I am sure that you will tell me that black's rooks are better, and you are right. If you are going to check knights, I am sure that black's knight is better than knight on b3. And these bishops are maybe so say same, but I'm sure that white's queen is better than black's queen, and that's the best time to change this small disadvantage. And exactly that's the idea, that's the way how black played this position. He played move queen to g5. Of course, he's going to attack square g2. That's a big threat, and he knows that he will not checkmate white's king, but he is looking forward to provoke any weaknesses. And white played move f4, so just watch what's happened. And this pawn is a weakness, and now that's exactly what we are looking forward to play. Black know where white is weak, and he will start to attack white weakness. So at the end, black won this game, but he won because he know the basic plan for the open center, and this basic and famous plan is to provoke your opponent to make a weakness. I hope that's the good time to go for a locked center, and this is exactly what's going on. If the center is locked, it's not possible to play in the center. Of course, you have to play on the wings, on the right side or on the left side. So side with the better pieces are going to start attack, and side with small disadvantage, they need to find counterplay in the opposite part of the chessboard. So just imagine that white is going to attack here. Black need to be active here. That's exactly what's going on if we are speaking about lock center. And just watch this example. I'm sure that you have the same feeling like me that white's pieces are better, and white start attack. So he played move f4 and f5, and white is going to open the right side of the chessboard, and of course he is looking to be active there. Nearly every move on the left side is a mistake, because that's not what's going on in a typical locked center position. You need to play on the wings where you are much more active, where, for example, you believe that your opponent is weak, and for example, to attack black's king is nearly every time a good plan, sometimes the strongest one. And just watch this position, g4, h4, and move by move I have the right feeling that yes, white is playing the best moves, and it's not difficult to find these moves if you know what to play in a locked center. b5, it's a nice move because black is is active on the opposite part of the chessboard, but maybe it's too late. Yes, of course, knight to c3 and one rook to h3, another to h1 and knight to d5. At the end, I'm sure that this attack is absolutely deadly to black, and now white won by a beautiful move, queen to a5. Black took this rook, but check and checkmate and game over. But it's not important that white won or black lost. It's important to understand that white know what to play in the locked center. So one more time, in the locked center, it's important to be active on the side where you believe you have more pieces and more chances to be active. So that's a golden rule of the locked center. And let's go on. This is a static center, and a static center is one of the most common center position in our chess games. And I will tell you a small secret. These two squares are the most important squares if we are playing this position. So white is trying to jump with his pieces to c5 or e5, and black is trying to do the same to place his pieces to c4 and e4, and that's exactly what's going on. These two squares are the most important squares for your pieces, and you need to believe me that if you are able to reach these squares, you should have an advantage. So let's watch this position, white to move, and of course this is the same center. We know that for the white these two squares are the most important squares, and for the black these two squares are the most important. So queen to e3, and this is maybe move which is going to surprise you, but make sense. Why? Just imagine that the best black piece is queen on c5, so white is happy to exchange the best piece. And the second time, yes, of course, here is a double pawn, but this double pawn exactly here is doing a great job. Just think about these two squares, and you know that the d5 and f5 are the most important squares for white, but what about d4 and f4 squares for black? These pawns, these squares are nearly impossible to touch by black's pieces, because this double pawn, this weak double pawn on e3 is taking care about these two squares, and for this reason black's position will be much more difficult to play, because white will take care about these two most important squares and he knows what to play. So bishop to g4 and g4, a5 and knight to d5. So we know that it's important to touch these squares, and white managed to play this plan. And I'm sure one more time that if you know what to play, if you know the basic plan for each type of the center, you are playing like master, because it's not difficult to find these moves. And rook to d7, and okay, here of course white is winning. One more time, watch this square. Yes, another piece is standing there, and nearly every time when you are able to place your piece there, you are playing good move. So okay, white won by beautiful moves or game, but it was not such a hard game, because at the end it was only typical static center, and we know which squares are important to us and which squares we have to fight on. So okay, another type of center is mobile center, and this is a nice center position where you are going to push your pawns as far as possible. You are looking to find or to make weaknesses in your opponent's army, and of course you need to stay active. So for example, if you know that the golden rule is to push your pawns, just push your pawns and you are able to find the first move e5. You know that here is a weakness, so next move is a simple move, and you know that one day you are going to d6. That's exactly because of this center. and that's exactly because you know what to play. I'm sure that if you will remember this video for a few moments, you are able to play better chess, because then everything is much more simple. So rook to e6, and you need to be active. You need to be active, you need to stay active, and believe me that if you are active, you are nearly winning. So queen to d7 happened, h4, queen to g3, and at the end white got advantage, and here exactly is winning. You know, this center is a strong center, and just remember that you have to push your pawns as far as possible. Then you need to stay active, and you know, you have to use your chances. So for example, again, you have to provoke your opponent to make weaknesses, you have to improve your pieces, and you nearly is winning. So the last center, I think that is most dangerous or difficult center, and this is a dynamic center. And why this center is dynamic? Because players should change this center to locked, to static, to open center, and this is important to understand when is good to you to locked, when is good to you to open, and when is good to play static center. For example, if you are believe that you will start attack against, for example, black's king, is good to lock the center. But for example, if you have if your army, if your minor and heavy pieces are mainly in the center and are better than black's pieces, it's good to you to open a center, because you will use your advantage as much as you can. So, or if you have chance to jump to d5 or f5, you should play a static center position, and that makes sense. To check example, here white start attack, but you know, center is not locked. So the best defense for the black is to open a center if your opponent is going to strike you on the wings, and that's exactly what's happened. Black played move d5, f5, and center is open. So maybe this attack, it's not the best plan in this position, because center is open, and everybody knows that in open center it's important to provoke your opponent to make weaknesses and to be active. And I'm not sure that blacks got any weakness, but I'm sure that whites got a few weaknesses, and yes, of course, black is happy. So after this, okay, it's a tactic where at the end white will win 2 pieces, but it will be a draw. So here is a check and check and check and check, and it's draw. So not important how this player played this game, but it's important to understand that we have 5 types of a center, and it's important to know the basic rules, and then you are able to understand what you are playing, what's your best plan in the position, and why your moves are the best moves. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I did my best to tell you something about chess strategy and about the center positions, and I'm sure that if you are able to remember something from this video, you are able to be better chess player. So if you like this video, feel free and press like and press follow, and made my day. Stay by me, and I hope I'll see you soon in our another YouTube chess video. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Take care. Be better chess player, and bye bye.